Hello, nerds! You are tuned in to a clip from the most recent stream over on the main channel, Generally Nerdy. This is Nerd News Clips, hence clip, but this is a little bit unique because we are technically right now in the off season, which means I do live shows, so I have to clip from the live show, so makes these clips a little bit more unstructured and kind of longer form than normal. But I appreciate you tuning in. If you are interested in the rest of the stream, then again, go check out the main channel, Generally Nerdy. Until then, enjoy the clip. And also, before we get too deep into this, let's talk about channel partner Dubby. Right there on screen. Let's go check out the Dubby website. Dubby, these are this is the products page on Dubby.gg. Dubby is the channel partner here with Generally Nerdy. Dubby has energy drinks that I really freaking like. I kind of love them. But also, they have hydration and stuff, so it's not just that. It's all mixed drink mixes. They do have... I don't want featured. Let's see. Nope. They do have canned drinks. Let's see if I can find them here on the... Well, that's not great, guys. Where's the canned stuff? There we go. They do have a couple canned drinks. They are working on availability. Those are harder to get your hands on just because they are kind of a small operation. But, yeah, lots of really great stuff over at Dubby.gg. If you use code GenerallyNerdy at checkout, you do get 10% off of everything you purchase. Plus, I am my own sponsor. This season, we're going to be pushing real hard on the merch. There is a new merch design up. So we have, I think it's 5 new items. For whatever reason, this is not loading. That's fun. 5 new items with the new design on. There it is on the Generally Nerdy store over at over at Spring. So generally-nerdy.creator-spring.com. I found a decent zip-up hoodie, so we're super stoked there. But the new pieces are the gaming nerd pieces. So we have a pullover hoodie, a zip-up hoodie, and then a couple of different T-shirts, different kinds of T-shirts. You have the Bella canvas, which is my favorite of the blends. These are the most comfortable shirts. We have, I haven't actually tried the Next Level 3600 premium shirt, but, you know, premium. So I figured, yeah, why the hell not? The Comfort Tee is also super cozy. And then Classic is just another option with a female cut. So we also, previously, we talked about the book nerd. We have the music nerd designs. There will be a tech nerd. There will be a comic book nerd, movie nerd, and I have a couple of the basic nerd designs. That's what we're going with for these. These are the basic nerd designs. And then sometime probably next month, we are going to start with special drops with each of them. So we'll get some special nerd stuff going on as well that's a little bit more specific to the type of nerd that you are repping. So go check out. There's a link down in the description of the YouTube channel. So those of you who are watching, actually, I think it's in the description over on Rumble as well. So if you're watching on Twitch, I haven't gotten that stuff updated just yet. We are still in the off season, so it is a work in progress. But yeah, we're super excited to be offering merch, and also super thankful for Dubby's partnership with the channel. All right, so paying the bills. That stuff is out of the way. Let's move into this Fantastic Four story. Really, I mean, like, this isn't exactly what we're talking about. I do agree with the headline here. But this morning, the Fantastic Four trailer dropped. We're not going to be playing it on stream because we are multi-streaming, and different platforms have different rules with reactions live. Specifically, YouTube is the most strict, so that sucks, but it is what it is. We have a pretty decent breakdown. If you go over to Den of Nerds on YouTube, Josh has a really great breakdown that I just watched that kind of gets into the big specifics of this. We actually might be able to. Let's do this. Let's do this. We're gonna. It's already muted. All right, beautiful. So get rid of the. The way it launched this morning, apparently, I was not alive to the world at this point, but apparently at 7 a.m. they started an hour-long countdown. So 7 a.m. California time, I believe, would have been 8 a.m. my time. So they started at 7 a.m. And then it ran an hour-long countdown, and then there was a 10-minute interview with the actors, and then they played the minute-and-a-half trailer, which is interesting. There's a couple of cool things to talk about. First of all, the opening bit is a 4:3 ratio, so it's kind of throwbacky. There's a lot of 60s elements in the design here, just like we were anticipating. They have a walkthrough of the Baxter of their living quarters in the Baxter building, and then right here it starts to expand to a normal 2:3 ratio. We see Ben talking to the robot about the cooking, and he adds the garlic. The interesting things are in the voiceover, right? Starting here. So this is starting. We're back into the 4:3 letterbox. This is pre them going up into space. Now, the interesting thing here is one of the rumors for this movie was that they were going to originally be from the 616. And somehow through their space travels, they punch a hole and go into whatever universe this movie takes place in. It apparently is not the case. At least the first bit of that, which is them being from the 616, is apparently not the case. That's not to say that the other half of that rumor being they're going back to the 616 is not going to happen. But we do have a shot here of them pre-space flight, obviously in this universe. So that part of the rumor has been shot down. The voiceover here, we're talking, it is Reed talking to Sue about the difference. Before we went up, you couldn't turn invisible, and then we see her struggling with his invisibility. Presumably this is that first time that they are up into space. Ben wasn't a rock. He doesn't say monster, he says rock. Also interesting in this shot is look at the size of Ben. He seems a little small, as pointed out by Josh over at the Den of Nerds. In this shot, he seems small, and then there's a shot later where he seems pretty thick. Ben Grimm is a big character. So in this shot, it's a little off-putting to see him so small. The other part of this is when we're here and we hear his voice. Also, he looks a little bit bigger here, right? When we hear his voice in this, it's just Ebon's voice. There's no change. Ebon doesn't affect any sort of different voice for having changed into the thing. So that's a very interesting choice that I really don't know how I feel about. And if it gun to my head right now, I would say, yeah, I really don't like that. So then we have, again, another shot of him going up into space and turning into the rock monster. With the really emotive face, as much as he is very comic book accurate. If you compare this to early runs of the Fantastic Four, this looks shockingly similar to the way Jack Kirby originally drew Ben Grimm. It's pretty awesome. But then they move on. The voiceover moves on to talk about how Johnny couldn't set himself on fire. And then Sue corrects Reed and says, Ben has always been a rock. And we see, let's see if I can find, that's Johnny. There we go. Ben has always been a rock. In this, it looks like he's being some sort of support system for her. So rock being a metaphor for him being supportive. Johnny is Johnny, and she comes in, find him being a troublemaker, effectively. We don't know exactly. And I'm right here because she's not invisible. But we get this really awesome shot of her using her powers, which is freaking fantastic. Not to, pun anything. We get Johnny going into space and his powers shutting off because he can't breathe, presumably. We get this really awesome coming of Galactus shot with another highlight of the cityscape to prove that this is an alternate universe. We get the fantastic, what is that? I can't remember the name of the vehicle that Reed creates, but Reed's car. We get this shot from the Ed Sullivan Show, kind of. A show that looks an awful lot like the Ed Sullivan Show. And also, we get these kick-ass 60s themed Fantastic Four outfits. Super, super excited about that. Where is that shot that Josh showed? Oh, come on, Meow. Come on, Meow. No, there it is. We get the red, what is he? The Red Ghost. Presumably this is the Red Ghost. Nobody knows for sure, but all the rumors are saying that Malkovich is going to be playing Ivan Kragov, was his name, who is the Red Ghost, who is a villain for the Fantastic Four in the early days. Basically, his backstory is he sees what the Fantastic Four do. He wants to do that for himself, so he takes a bunch of different apes and monkeys and stuff into space and tries to recreate the circumstance through which the Fantastic Four got their powers, and then he gets weird powers too, but it's not doesn't work out exactly the same way. Also, there's rumor that he is not going to be the main villain. Obviously, he's not going to be the main villain because they're highlighting the fact that Galactus is in this freaking movie. So if he's in the trailer, then we are not getting a post-credit scene that has Galactus, and that's the only cameo we get. We are getting Galactus as the big bad. So the fact that we have the Red Ghost here is significant because he's like I said, he's a villain of theirs in the early days of the comics. So back in the 60s, 50s, whenever Kirby and whenever he was created. Sorry, brain just stopped working. I really thought we were going to be getting this trailer at the Super Bowl. That was what all of the rumors were saying. So it's kind of crazy that they drop it February 4th. Kind of appropriate. F4, Fantastic Four, February 4th, blah, blah, blah. But does a lot of good things for the hype machine for this. The big thing here that is notably absent is any sort of reference to the fact that Sue is very potentially pregnant. There are a couple of allusions. Let's get to this shot. There are a couple of allusions to a time jump. This shot very specifically has two different things that maybe are alluding to, one, the time jump, because her hair is good and long here, but also she looks like she may or may not be with child, meaning we are probably going to be seeing her and Reed's eldest son, whose name is totally escaping my brain right now, but that is the big rumor, that is what draws Galactus to this Earth, and that's why they have to escape Galactus to a different universe, and Galactus follows them, and it's this whole thing. So possible there. But yeah, if you look at her hair here and you look at her hair at the beginning, it's very, very short, so alluding to the potential of a time shift. But yeah, really awesome, super great. If you haven't watched the trailer yet, go watch it. That is the first piece that we absolutely must get out of the way. Her child is in the movie. So that is the big rumor. There is absolutely the Fantastic Car. Thank you, Chris. I'm super excited for you to be here right now. Yes, I agree. It totally does look good. This movie takes place in some separate universe other than the MCU. Yes, that has been made known through leaks and stuff for some time at this point. The rumors have fluctuated. Franklin Richards, thank you. The rumor has fluctuated from it takes place exclusively in this alternate universe, and then at the end of the movie they transfer to the 616. To at some point they are they start in the 616, and then they accidentally go to this new universe. From that accident, they become superheroes, and they are like rock star superheroes in this alternate universe. With the birth of Franklin, that draws not only Galactus but also this universe's Doctor Doom. Yes, it does mean that we might get Doctor Doom in the post-credit scene. I think we actually are going to get a little bit more of a cameo than just the post-credit scene from Doctor Doom, because he has to follow them into the 616. I am 100% on board with the theory that Doom is in the 616 from the beginning, because if you the current status of Iron Man in the comic books is that he was adopted, because they're the only superheroes in the world. They I don't know if they're going to be the only ones, but they're definitely going to be the most famous ones. But yeah, that is one of the rumors as well, is that because they have superpowers in this universe, nobody else has superpowers, which makes them kind of stand out. Doctor Doom. So the theory that I'm on board with the most for what's going to happen with Doom is that we have Robert Downey Jr. is playing Doom very specifically because in the comic books, Tony Stark is adopted by the Starks, and so his backstory as an orphan doesn't really get fleshed out as far as I understand it. I haven't read that arc, but it is significant because the child that he's effectively replacing, his brother in essence, died when they were very young, and that's why they adopted another child. So the theory is, and this one comes again from Josh over at Den of Nerds, the theory is that the person who would have become Doctor Doom in the 616 is orphaned from Latveria, is adopted by the Starks, and then is raised as Tony. Whereas in this other universe, he is raised as Doctor Doom, Victor Von Doom, in Latveria, becomes the leader of Latveria, and then becomes the Doom that we know from the comic books because he's in Latveria. So the fact that it's Robert Downey Jr. playing both characters is significant, because then that really plays into a lot of the adoptive stuff. It shows that he really could have been there from the start. It's really, really awesome. I'm super, super excited about that. So, yes, if you have not yet watched that trailer, go check it out. It's pretty dope, pretty solid. Kind of excited, for the movie when it comes out. Once again, this has been a clip from the most recent live stream on Generally Nerdy. So that is the main channel. This is the secondary channel. I appreciate you tuning in here, liking, subscribing, doing all of the things. Don't forget to go over there, because the content is different from channel to channel. It's not just smaller versions of the large things, though largely that is what it is. So I appreciate your faces, nerds. We will see you in the next live stream, hopefully. And then again, when the season starts properly in a few weeks, we will see you back then as well, and we'll do much more structured and much more informational and much more fun things, I would say. So that being said, I appreciate your faces. Thank you very much for tuning into this clip. Don't forget, once again, to like, subscribe, share, do all of the things. We'll see you in the next one. Before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.